You don't need ads to get your first 10 paying customers. Most people spray content and hope. I use 3 organic channels that brought trials and actual payments fast. No call outreach, no ad spend. I'll show you exactly what worked. Targeted templates that convert. One partnership and integration that actually drove users, and lightweight SEO around expiration reminder. I'll share the Trello integration that worked and why Basecamp didn't, plus the keyword that moved the needle. Follow this and you'll save months of guesswork. And let's jump right into the core idea so you can apply it this week. So here's the principle. Trade manual precision for attention. When you don't have an ad budget, you can still win by building small, useful assets that solve a sharp problem tied to your product. You don't need thousands of people. You need the right 10 with urgency. That's the thing that most people miss. So think about your product's closest manual job. For me, expiration reminders meant people juggling contracts and renewals in spreadsheets or task boards. I built tiny assets that made that job easier today and pointed straight to a 5-minute trial path. Each asset took about an hour. I shipped measured downloads and clicks, then doubled down on what converted. Filters kept me honest. It had to be relevant to the product, fast to build, and measurable to a trial. Once you get those working, the rest clicks. Now, let me show you the first channel in detail. Targeted value assets, templates that convert. Most people post vague tips like stay organized. That doesn't convert. Specific templates do, because they create immediate utility and trust. If someone can save 30 minutes right now, they'll happily try that tool that automates the next step. I focus on Excel and Word templates that match a step in the expiration reminder workflow. Examples: a contract renewal tracker, a renewal calendar, a vendor audit checklist, and reminder email scripts. Each one solved a single slice of the job. Then every asset included the same CTA. If you're manually tracking renewals, start a free trial and automate this in minutes. The build pattern was simple. 1 hour per asset. Keep the design clean. Columns that matter. For the contract tracker, contract name, owner, start and end dates, notice period, renewal type, status, notes, and simple conditional format that flags items in the notice window. Quick win, they paste in the days today and see what's at risk. The natural step is, I don't want to check this every week. And that's where the product comes in to schedule automatic reminders. Distribution was direct and lightweight. I posted templates on my website, shared on LinkedIn with a short story about missing renewals, added them to relevant community threads, and built a small resources page that tied all assets together. The language stayed consistent. If this spreadsheet is your world right now, here's the faster way. Now, here's where most people mess up. They make generic templates and forget the CTA. Or they produce 10 assets without testing. Don't do that. Ship 1, track downloads, and click through to trial. Then iterate. If an asset drives downloads but low trials, tighten the copy to explain the automation payoff. If trials start but users stall, improve the first run experience in the product to mirror the template fields. Measurement was simple and actionable. Downloads, CTR to trial, installs, and rules created inside the product. I doubled down on the templates with the highest CTR. One microstory. A basic Excel tracker outperformed a long guide because users could use it in minutes. Utility beats theory. As assets prove themselves, I upgraded the best one into a simple interactive calculator on the site. Enter contract end date and notice period, see the last save date to add. Then set this as an automated reminder. That created a smooth handoff. Once you've got 1 or 2 assets converting, partnerships can multiply that reach. That's where integrations enter the picture next. Partnerships and integrations, what worked and what didn't. Integrations let you ride on someone else's distribution and trust. If your product naturally extends a workflow users already do, you can meet them where they work and turn that into trials. But the tricky part is that every vendor has different rules, different marketplaces, and different user behavior. There's no standard, and not every platform will move the needle. I tried a couple that didn't and one that did. The thing most people miss is fit, not technical fit, behavior fit. You need to overlap in users and a use case that already lives inside that platform. For expiration reminders, I look for tools where people track tasks and dates all day. That led me to a task boards. Basecamp seemed promising, but the user behavior didn't map to what I needed. People weren't consistently putting renewal critical dates in place I could reliably hook. So installs were low, and even the installs didn't create active reminder rules. Trello, on the other hand, clicked because users already track cards with due dates, labels, and lists. That's the behavior I wanted. The validation step was simple. Search Trello forums for renewal, contract, reminder, and see if people asked for follow-ups beyond the default due dates alerts. Scan the marketplace for similar power-ups, check competitor listings, and read reviews to learn what users complain about. If you see I need recurring reminders or I need rules by label, that's a signal. I kept the first build small. Connect your Trello account, pick a board, choose a label or a due date condition, and create a rule like 30 days before the due date, send an email and Slack message. That's it. No heavy UI, no complex mapping, just a minimum that delivers a win in 5 minutes. The listing read like a mini landing page. Problem, one-click value, 2 screenshots, and a free trial. I added a short how-to article, a template board people could copy, and a couple of forum replies that answer questions with clear steps. Onboarding mattered. The first run flow said, connect Trello, pick a board, set a renewal rule, done. No jargon. I stayed close to the early users. I answered questions fast and turned common threads into an FAQ and short docs. When someone asked for a per label offsets, I updated the rule builder so you could say 30 days for vendors, 60 days for contract. That created momentum inside Trello communities because answers were concrete and the product matched their card habits. Now, lessons from the flops. Basecamp didn't bring the date discipline I needed. Users didn't consistently use due dates for commitments that matter, so triggers were unreliable. That's a poor fit for a reminder engine. The fix wasn't to build more, it was to stop and reallocate. I time bots each integration to 2 weeks. If views to installs to trials didn't show live, I paused. Your metrics should look like a sort clean funnel. Marketplace, views to install, installs to trials, trials to first rule created. If you see a drop between install and rule, your onboarding or listing is unclear. If you see views but no installs, the platform audience or positioning is off. The big win here is leverage. One integration with behavior fit can beat 3 random ones. And when it works, it multiplies your templates reach because you can embed Trello template board, show the rule, and link back to your trial. Now let's talk about lightweight SEO. Integrations create spikes. SEO creates steady discovery. I didn't try to build an SEO empire. I just covered the intent keywords that matched what buyers search when they are ready to solve this problem. The core term was expiration reminder, plus close variants like contract expiration reminder, renewal reminder, subscription renewal reminder. These are people who already feel the pain. You don't need dozens of articles. You need a few pages that answer the job and get the click to trial. So here's the approach. 1 landing page per intent. Each page uses simple structure. H1 with a keyword, a type problem statement, a 3-step solution, a template link, a product CTA, and a short FAQ. Keep the copy direct and visual. Show a screenshot of the exact outcome. A scheduled reminder rule with timing, channels, and a sample message. Add schema basics like FAQ markup so you can grab a bit more served real estate without writing a novel. Content pieces supported those landings. I wrote a how-to guide for setting up an expiration reminder workflow, a couple template pages that tie back to channel 1, and a features page map to each intent. The template pages did double duty. People came from the spreadsheet, then saw a clear next step to automate. Internally, I linked template pages to the expiration reminder landing. The Trello integration page linked to use cases and back to the core landing. Keep the web tight, not sprawling. Fewer clicks to value. Speed and clarity matter. Fast loads, single headings, consistent CTA blocks like set your first reminder in 5 minutes, and free template plus automation. That line boosted click-through rates because it promised a quick win even if they weren't ready to buy. Avoid the traps. Broad blog posts with no intent alignment, keyword stuffing, or thin pages without a concrete example. If your page doesn't show the actual reminder state someone will get, it won't convert. Measurement was clean. Impressions to CTR to time on page to trial clicks to first rule created. If impressions were high but CTR low, I tightened the titles and meta descriptions to focus on the 5-minute setup and the template. If time on page dropped, I moved the example screenshot above the fold and made the 3 steps scannable. As templates got links and the integration page earn mentions, the expiration reminder pages rose slowly. That compounding effect is when your assets help people immediately and point to a single clear action. Now, let me show you how this fits into a normal week if you are working a full-time job. The constraint is time, so you need a cadence that ships tiny wins and compounds. Monday, pick one micro asset or page to ship. Define the smallest useful version, a single template, a trim how-to, or one integration tweak. Tuesday, build it and write the CTA connected to the trial flow, so the next step is obvious. Wednesday, publish and distribute in 2 or 3 relevant pieces. Your site, a community thread, LinkedIn. Log basic metrics so you can compare later. Thursday, improve your best performing SEO page title or add a quick FAQ. Based on the queries you're seeing, small edits move CTR. Friday, answer integration questions, collect feedback, and update docs or onboarding to remove friction. Saturday, or a short evening blog, plan next week's assets and prune anything that didn't perform. The guardrails are simple. Time bots bills, ship on a schedule, measure weekly, and cut underperformance quickly. Once you run this for a few weeks, you'll see which templates attract clicks, which integration steps confuse users, and which pages drive trials. Then you keep doubling down on what actually brings those first paying customers. Now, here are the traps that slow people down and how to fix them fast. First, generic content. 10 tips to manage contracts won't move anyone. Fix it by shipping hyper-specific templates tied to your product's outcome and a clear 5-minute trial CTA. Second, integrations without behavior fit. Don't build for a platform where users don't store the dates you need. Validate forum demand and workflows first. Then, time bots and build. Third, weak or missing CTAs. Every asset needs one path. Free template, then automate it in minutes. Make the next step obvious. Fourth, overbuilding. Version 1 must ship in a day. Add only what users ask for after first usage. Fifth, ignoring measurement. Track downloads, CTR, trials, and first rule created. Keep what doesn't move the funnel. Sixth, scatter effort. One asset per week, one channel focus. That rhythm compounds. Seventh, SEO without intent. Only create pages that solve this sad keyword job. Now, if you remember nothing else, your first 10 customers come from precise, useful assets that solve a job today and point straight to a 5-minute trial. Pick one template you can ship today or scope a minimal integration where user behavior already fits. Then run the weekly cadence and measure the funnel. Subscribe for more step-step playbooks and watch the deeper SEO or trend integration video next. I'll share the exact integration checklist in that one. Don't miss it.